Battle Brothers is a turn-based tactical role-playing game that is laughably easy to beat. In this dumb baby game, you take on the role of a leader of a mercenary group that sets out to carve a place in this dark, cruel, medieval fantasy world. As a soldier of fortune in this fallen kingdom, you must accumulate coin by working for the local gentry, undertaking jobs that pretty much always involve killing the people that they don't like. At your disposal is an army of hillbillies that you can recruit from the various settlements, a motley crew of men who have been rejected from polite society, and now make a living going on suicide missions at the behest of an incompetent commander. The land is dangerous, filled with legions of bandits, undead ghouls, goblins, and probably some other stuff that I never saw because I sucked at this game. The road is long, treacherous, and littered with the bodies of both friend and foe, but you will persevere, for by your side you have the... I may not be a fan of high fantasy, but I love doing that DM voice. Alright, Battle Brothers, time for an actually informative description now that all the bullshitting's out of the way. Battle Brothers is a turn-based TRPG where you play as the leader of a mercenary company in a dark fantasy world. Similar to XCOM, it combines both tactical combat scenarios and a complex management simulator to form a game that is incredibly in-depth and incredibly difficult. If you have any interest in this game, the first thing you should know is that it doesn't fuck around. This game will kick your teeth in, so if you're looking for a relaxing and laid-back experience that doesn't demand a whole lot of you, you're gonna want to look elsewhere. If you're interested in this game, though, I'm going to assume that you probably aren't any stranger to brutally difficult games, as that's kind of the thing that this genre is known for. Having played other games in this genre, I was expecting a challenge, but this game still ended up being way harder than I expected. I'm not saying that as a negative, though. Before I go any further about the difficulty, I should go over the start menu. When you start a new game, it almost feels like a paradox game with the amount of options you have for starting scenarios and the different modifiers you can activate. First things first, the difficulty. The game recommends that you start on beginner, but I'm not a little baby bitch boy, so I went with veteran. Without the DLC, of which there's a fair amount, you get access to 2 starting scenarios. I went with the tutorial one to get a hang of the game's systems. The tutorial gives you a basic narrative hook. You're trying to lead the remnants of your company back to glory after a battle with some brigands goes terribly wrong and your leader and most of your cohorts are killed. So, you immediately get into a battle, and the first thing you'll probably notice is that this game is set in a world inhabited exclusively by hyper-violent Matryoshka dolls. These nesting dolls of destruction do battle on a hex-grid battlefield in which you can command your units to undertake a variety of different actions. Each of these actions makes use of 2 separate resources, fatigue and AP. Anyone familiar with the genre knows what AP is, but in case you don't, it stands for action points and is essentially a measurement of how many things a unit can do per turn. As an example, you start out with I think 9 action points. Moving it all takes 2 points per tile, and different attacks require varying amounts of AP. Fatigue is something unique to Battle Brothers. Killing people with crossbows and melee weapons is tiring work, so each action that your dudes take also generates fatigue. The longer the battle goes on, the more fatigued your soldiers become, meaning that there is less that they can do per turn, as not only can you not go over the amount of AP your unit has, you can't go over the amount of fatigue they can take either. This means that it's in your best interest to end every battle as quickly as possible. This task is incredibly difficult because, at least initially, your guys do not have the greatest accuracy. Like most other games in the genre, every attack only has a certain percentage chance to hit, meaning that every aggressive act is a gamble and can backfire horrifically. At least moving from tile to tile makes a really dramatic noise. Combat in this game is unforgiving and you will lose soldiers. Most of the enemies that I encountered were very beefy and dished out a lot of damage. Damage can be mitigated by things like armor and shields, different types of which are effective against different weapons. The same goes for your enemies, so based on whatever armor your enemy is wearing, you might want to have soldiers with specific weapons go up against them. This is all really complex and it's just the tip of the iceberg, as I wasn't able to make it very far in this game. I imagine that new mechanics are introduced later on that add to the amount of stuff that you have to juggle during a battle. Outside of warfare, you also have to manage your homeboys and their downtime too. Since you're all mercenaries, your guys are going to want payment, so you have to make sure that you have enough money to keep everyone sticking around. Different soldiers demand both different upfront payment as well as daily reimbursement. You also have to keep everyone well fed, manage conflicts that may arise between soldiers, and did I mention that you also have to keep everyone's morale up, so you better save some money for beer pong at the local taverns. If you think that's it, boy are you mistaken, because you also have to work on your reputation with different settlements in the world. In order to get higher paying jobs, you have to do busy work for lower level players before you can get a high enough reputation for the local lords to give a shit about you. Oh, you can also get ambushed by attackers in the overworld as well, so that's always convenient. As you can tell, there's a lot of things that can go wrong in this game, so you have to be very good at both managing your company, which I was not, and leading your troops in battle, which I was not. As a result, my first playthrough came to a very unceremonious end. It's okay though, because according to the wiki, this is an actual ending to the game, so I'm going to say that I beat it anyway and move on. For my second playthrough, I downloaded the only other free DLC and gave my company a better name to improve morale. They'll never stop us now. I went into this new campaign with more knowledge of how the game functions, and I was ready to lead my company into victory against all who would oppose us. We got ambushed by goblins on the way to a mission and they killed us all. God damn it. Okay, obviously my playthroughs were a little longer than what I showed here, but the point I'm really trying to hammer home is that I am stupid and this game kicked my ass for it. Since I didn't really play this game long enough or competently enough, you may be wondering, why is this fucking clown doing a review for a game he sucks at? Is he Cuphead Man? Well, the reason is that I don't really consider the videos I do on this channel to be reviews. I may give my opinion on the games that I play, but these things aren't nearly structured cohesively enough or written well enough to be considered actual well thought out examinations of a game's quality. The way I'm looking at it, these are kind of like journal entries where I talk about whatever game I played recently and try to relay my experiences with it in a funny way that I hope other people can identify with. I'm not going to play a game, be shit at it, and then try and pass off that experience as indicative of the only experience that the game has to offer. Case in point, while I enjoyed Battle Brothers, it's very difficult, and I'm not really willing to pump an ungodly amount of hours into it to get good at the moment. That's not a knock against the game, it's absolutely an acute case of what the medical community refers to as skill issue, but that was my experience with the game, so that's what the journal entry says. I plan to play the game more, but in smaller sessions in between games, not as like a marathon where I try and beat it while playing nothing else. If you're into these kinds of games, then you can absolutely get a lot of hours of enjoyment out of it. The Steam reviews are a clear indicator of this. We got this one that says, be careful, it's highly addictive. Yeah, I'd say he got pretty addicted to it. This one is a little more mixed. Decent game with mediocre playtime. Wait, what the fuck? I like this one, straight to the point. Replayability, depth. Damn, it took you 6,000 hours to come up with that? All this is to say, if you're willing to get good, you can get a lot out of this game. Plus, the devs have a new game called Menace that's coming out soon and looks really cool, so you also have that to look forward to. Sometimes you want to play a chill, laid-back game, and other times you want something to really kick your teeth in and make you feel like a stupid piece of shit. Battle Brothers is the second type of game, but I'm sure that with enough perseverance you can turn it into the first type. I am from Dumbfuckistan, so I was not able to do that. It's okay though, because the game my next video is going to be on is about the most brainless thing imaginable, so it's more my speed. Until then though, Battle Brothers was fun, I'm going to play it some more, and I look forward to getting my ass kicked by everything this game can send my way. Hey everybody, if you made it this far in the video, I just want to say thanks. It means a whole lot. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all your standard YouTube outro stuff that you always hear. And other than that, I'll see y'all in the next video. Goodbye.